Well, good morning, everyone. Hi, muscle mommies and muscle daddies. This is Swole Shady here, aka Allie, and I'm recording. It's the morning at 7:15 a.m. because I had PT this morning. We went to the gym, and now here I am. I'm having some chocolate milk because it's after a workout, and there's some research about chocolate milk being a great recovery drink after a workout. I run a marathon in 2 days, right? Today's Thursday. Yeah. Friday, Saturday, boom. On Saturday, I run it. So today is like heavy carb load day, but I'm honestly not anxious about the marathon. I'm sure when I get to the start line, I'll want to like shit my pants, like actually shit my pants. That's what when I say that, I mean actually shit my pants. The problem is I'm more anxious about this carb loading because I feel like carb loading is extremely difficult sometimes, like knowing what to cook, knowing how many carbs. And so I'm just going to, any carb I see, I'm just going to keep myself full and keep putting it in my mouth because I need that shit to work. So I was thinking about relationships yesterday, and it was such a, I was getting so into it. I literally was in class and I wrote all of these notes on what I want to talk about. And if you know me, usually I don't prepare for episodes. I just go off the bat. But this I was thinking about, I was trying to understand, why do we get so hopeful to continue relationships when we know we deserve better, or we know that who they are and what they've been doing is not healthy for us? And then I also was thinking about, why do we stay? Like, why do we stay? I've reflected a lot from my past relationship. I reflect a lot really from everything in my past. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I'm going back and I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, why am I attracted to these certain types of people? What attracted me to them? And then I get into, why did I stay? Like, why did I truly stay with this person when I knew I wasn't getting enough? And I think it was masked as this hope that I had for me and this person. But really, I think the hope is avoiding what comes if it doesn't work out with that person, the feelings that come out if it doesn't happen with that person. I'm not just talking about, sad feelings of breakup. I'm talking about like deep core wounds, and we're going to get into that. So I'm really excited. Okay, so Sophia Bush said on this podcast, Tell Me Something Messy, such an amazing, oh my God, like when I came across this, I was like, holy motherfucking shit, she cannot speak any more truth. Sophia Bush was talking about how she was accepting crumbs when she was serving feasts, and some of what she excused was not a badge of honor for her ability to compromise. It was betraying herself and taking less and less in return for what she consistently gave. When I came across this video, I was like, girl, you are speaking so well, because I remember when I was with my ex, my feelings were, if I can just be patient and compromise and we can get through this, then like we can get through anything. Like, we're gonna be a strong couple that can get through hard times and come out even better. Little do you know that other person doesn't think they're gonna come out better. They may convince you they will come out better, or they may convince themselves they will come out better, but they won't. It's something hard to hear, but it's true. If they are not enough for you now, they never will be. If they are breaking your trust and making you feel like you aren't enough for them, or they're not even enough for you, that's when you know this is not gonna go anywhere. If that is what they believe, they have a lot of work to do, and you cannot be there to sit and wait around for it. Oh, this is gonna be such a beautiful episode. As I'm going through this, I wanna talk about questions you can ask yourself and questions I ask myself, and I'll give you some examples so it makes it a little bit more understandable for you. And you could think about somebody who you liked in the past, or you could think about someone you like now. You know when you like someone, let's say it's in the present, you know when you like someone and you know there's like something where they're not really good for you, but your body like wants them, your heart wants them, something just really wants them, but like your brain knows they're probably bad news. Like, I see the red flags, but my body and my mind, everything wants them. So the first thing I start with is, why are you attracted to the people you're attracted to? What does that tell you about yourself? These could be healthy things or totally unhealthy things. You can be attracted to a certain type of person because somebody in your family is like that, somebody who raised you is like that. But there's also parts of the person that beyond surface level of their just like personality and what they show to others, where you go a little bit deeper and you're like, why am I really attracted to this? So I'm going to help you guys out. Your nervous system may feel something is safe because it recognizes it. But just because it recognizes it doesn't mean it's safe. Because if you grew up in an environment where there was a lot of unhealthy behaviors, and maybe it caused some abandonment issues, maybe it caused you to feel like you were too much, maybe it caused you to feel like you weren't enough, maybe you were conditionally loved and you had to constantly prove yourself to somebody. When another partner gives you that same feeling, your body is like, oh, this is familiar. So we're good. Like, stay. Like, this is familiar. We know this. We recognize this. Let's pretend your nervous system is the color of red, because we think of like red flags. And then this person comes in, red flags all over. They're going to blend right in and you're going to be like, oh, welcome. Like, I recognize you, because it's true. Your nervous system recognizes that. But if you see somebody who's a green flag and they come into this red flag area, you're going to immediately notice, oh, there's something different. And you may actually hate that. You may actually hate the safety of a green flag. You may be like, I don't recognize you. So what am I going to do with you? What, you know how to love me? Like, you're going to take care of me and you're going to be amazing? Like, yeah, fuck no, you won't. And so that's why I think we're easier to accept the red flags in if we have those array of red flags that have layered our thinking. So when that flag comes in, it's the same color as all the others. You can't tell the difference. You don't even understand it's threatening. And when they do give you butterflies, it's those butterflies that your body is used to. The fear, your body's used to it. The wanting to change them, the feeling like you're not enough for them, but you still want to prove yourself to them, your body recognizes it. So your body's going to keep letting it in. Is it actually safe, or is it just something that my nervous system is recognizing? Now I'm going to go into starting a relationship with the person. You've gotten this attraction to them, and now you guys are starting to get more into it. Maybe you start dating, or maybe you're still talking when you figure this stuff out. You start to recognize the other person's beliefs. You start to recognize what they value, what they prioritize. You start to recognize how they act under pressure. And maybe you even see a few patterns, whether it's patterns with their daily routine, how they react to stress, how they act with their family. You start to really understand, oh, who is this person below, like right below the first level. And so when people are like, oh, the honeymoon phase is over, that's not necessarily a bad thing if the person is a good person for you or healthy for you. So as long as that mask is still on, it still may be the honeymoon phase. They keep that mask on for so long, and then when it finally starts to die down, you start to notice, like, they're not really doing things for me anymore, they're not prioritizing me anymore, or whatever it is that they're not doing anymore that they used to do. That's their mask coming down and showing you who they really can be long term. Who they can be short term doesn't really matter. Anybody could be anything short term. It's very easy to put on a mask, and they may not even be purposely doing it. It's just a subconscious thing. It's a way to either charm you in the beginning or keep you interested because they want you to prove something to themselves, maybe that they are enough or that they're lovable. And then slowly but surely, they're like, oh, this is the real me. And you're like, wait, what happened to the old you? And you're like, okay, you know what? You're right. Let me go find my mask. I probably put it somewhere in the closet. I'm going to go put it back on. And then I'll go back into that old me phase, the honeymoon phase, where I'm like this perfect person for you. And I mirror everything you want me to do. That part in the relationship where you start to see the lower layers of who they actually are. And that can be something that either draws you in or you can leave. I think a person who's learned their lessons a ton of fucking times may leave, but I didn't. Hey, I'm here. I didn't, so that's why I'm talking about it today. Because I don't think many people leave at all. I think you figure out who the person is, but you've already latched on to this person that you want them to be, or this person they were in the beginning, so you're like, you ain't fucking going nowhere, you're staying right here. And yeah, I'm chaining you to the fucking bed. Avoidance and anxious people. If you guys don't know your attachment style, it's one of my favorite things to find out about myself and other people, because I think it says so much about the people you choose, and it's really, really interesting. So I'm going to link a quiz in the caption right now, and I'm going to quickly just sum up one thing that I believe to be true. So avoidants are those people that, are avoiding, suppressing their feelings. They're shutting down. And the anxious people are the ones that like grab on. So when there's a conflict, the avoidants will walk away. They need to distance themselves, emotionally distance themselves completely. And the anxious people are the one who are like, I need to latch onto and we need to figure this out now. So when anxious and avoidance meet, it's like the avoidants come off extremely autonomous, like independent. And so this anxious person is seeing this independence in this person. They're like, wow, this is really, really attractive. Like, I want that. I want to be like that. Like, I want that independence. I really like that about them. But then you kind of find out later on that the independence is self-isolation. It's not getting too close to people, not letting people in. And then the avoidance looking at the anxious, this emotionally expressive person, they're like, wow, like, I want that. Like, that's very intriguing to me. They can, like, they feel things and they talk about things. And then it works until it doesn't. And then you start the push-pull dynamic, the anxious avoidant trap. I'm actually going to link a TikTok of a guy that role plays anxious and avoidant dates if they were honest, like first dates. So that's really, really funny. And it'll make total sense to you. And then anxious avoidant traps. If I could find the video, I'll link that as well. But look it up. You'll probably find it anywhere, like on YouTube or TikTok. Anxious avoidant traps are so freaking interesting. It's basically this push-pull dynamic. One person creates the space, the other person runs towards them. Then the other person actually ends up creating the space. So then that person runs towards them. And the reason why you're running towards each other is because you are triggering an abandonment wound. And usually people think that like the anxious ones are the ones with like the very apparent abandonment wounds. But at the end of the day, like, avoidants still have it too. It's just beneath another layer of a different wound, but it does get triggered. They act like they want to be alone, but then when their abandonment wound gets triggered, they're like, no, I can't leave you. So yeah, it's a whole thing. But anyways, so as I'm talking about this anxious avoidant trap, because not everyone is anxious avoidant, but everybody can relate to this, is every relationship has a dance. You have a dance, how your dynamic is and how you are in fights. There's a pattern, and whether you like to admit it or not, no matter how healthy a relationship can be, like, there's going to be a dance. There's a way you guys naturally will act when triggered. This is the part where I think when you realize the dance, you're identifying like, how much of a problem is this dance? What do we need to change about it to make it healthier? So I'll give you an example. You guys get into a little bit of a tiff and then you're like, I need time away from you. And the other person's like, what are you talking about? Like, I need to sit here and talk this out with you for hours. And this other person's like, no, I need time away from you. And the anxious is scared that you're never going to come back to it. And the avoidant is like, I need to escape this because this is unsafe to me. But that distance is unsafe to the anxious. So a way to fix that is for you guys to have a discussion when you're not in the middle of a fight about how you guys feel in those fights. Some people need space, some don't. But some just need the reassurance that you will come back to it when you're done. So fixing that would be an avoidant saying, hey, this is remember what we talked about, how I need some space in this kind of case scenario? I'm going to take some space to myself to cool down and really think about this. And then let's come back together tomorrow at 10 o'clock and we're going to talk about it again. And just giving them that. So the anxious, is going to have to deal with that, but then they have to figure out how to self-soothe themselves because not everybody's just going to immediately solve the problem the way they want them to. But let's bring it back to this unhealthy dance. Sometimes you have an unhealthy dance and you notice it, and maybe you talk to your therapist about it like I did, and you're like, I don't like the fact that, let's say, I'm coming to you with my feelings, and somehow the whole conversation gets turned around and then your feelings are hurt and then I'm the one soothing you for your feelings. That's a big fucking problem. And I don't even think I need to explain why that's a big problem. I have felt that before. And I remember thinking, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to soothe somebody else when I need the soothing. Like, I'm coming to you for reassurance, or I'm coming to you to help me patch this up and maybe even tell you one of my insecurities or whatever it is. And then it somehow is freaking you out so much. It's making you so anxious that I need to help you now calm down. But this was about me and my problem. So why am I going to help you as if this was your problem that you came to me about? So when you notice the dance, you're like, okay, this isn't healthy, and you try to figure it out. Now, this is where the turning point is. You can fix the dance, but sometimes the other person doesn't know how to fix the dance within themselves. They don't understand why they get like that, and they're not really interested in doing the deeper work. They may be interested in it, but they actually don't know how to do the deeper work. They're very scared of the deeper work, very scared to peel that onion. And that's when I think a lot more fights start, because you're like, well, I'm not going to give in to that. But why do you stay then? So you don't give in to it, and then the person doesn't really change that much because they don't really know how. Maybe they're not doing the work they need to, even if they're getting help from a therapist or a friend. Why do you stay? What happens there? And that's where I think you say, oh, well, I'm hopeful. I've said that before. Oh, I'm hopeful. I'm going to think of all the excuses people think of, because I've definitely said a lot of these. I love them and they're good for me. We work well together, but they're really funny and we have such a good time together. We have really, really good chemistry. I feel that some people, when they try to envision a relationship where one person wasn't good for the other, they weren't good for each other, they envision a relationship where hell is constantly breaking loose. They don't work well together. They don't complement each other. They don't really have great humor with each other. They're just two people in a relationship. That's not true. You can have very high chemistry with someone that's not good for you. You can have their exact humor and you can get along so well and they still may not be good for you. I mean, me and the first person I've ever fell in love with, that's exactly... you see us together, you think, oh my God, they're great together. If we were to get any more than that, we would not be great together. Let me tell you that. Any type of commitment added onto that we'd be done in a day. Why do we fucking stay? I think one, from what I just said, was we think, well, if we work well together or we have good chemistry together or we are best friends, then we should be together. But that's not actually how it works, because despite all of that, there's deeper levels to relationships. There's the trust, there's the loyalty, there's the commitment, there is the prioritization, there's the compromise, there's patience, there is so much. And we will look at the day-to-day feeling we get when we're with them or the energy we have when we're around them, and we just think, oh, well, that must mean we need to work. It doesn't mean that. And it doesn't mean that, because there's a lot more than that than you need a relationship to work. Personalities that match, people that complement each other, people that balance each other out, it doesn't necessarily mean you're balancing each other out in every way, or that you have the ability to compromise with them, or you have the ability to commit to them, or you have the ability to show them love the way they need to be loved. Good personality doesn't show them that. It doesn't give them that. That's why it doesn't work. I think you should ask yourself, is it hope, or is it me already mentally latched in to the person that I want them to be for me? The person that I want them to be. And what's the person I want them to be? Is it somebody who plays sports and somebody who this? No, I'm not talking about that shit. I'm saying, what do I want to prove to myself by having them in my life? That I'm lovable, that somebody wants me, that I'm attractive, I'm enough, needed, that I'm important. All those things I think are masked as hope. Because I remember when my therapist even said, if this didn't change, would you be able to go on like this for forever? If that never changed about him. And I thought, oh, absolutely not. It has to change, or I wouldn't be able to. I couldn't see that. Me still dealing with the feelings that I have right now. And, she just took note of that. But in that moment, the thought of us breaking up scared the fuck out of me. I was like, I didn't even want it. Like, my friends know. They would say the word breakup and I would run. I was like, I'm not thinking about breakups, or I'm not thinking about breaking up with him. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm just thinking about fighting through this and coming out stronger, because that's what you do. You fight and then you get stronger, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not always the case. Not if somebody doesn't know how to work on it the same way you do. In that moment, the reason why I was so scared of the breakup is because I brought myself back to the feelings of heartbreak that I felt the first time. And I remember just being like, I don't ever want to feel that way again. I hate feeling heartbroken because it brings up all these other things for me, loneliness and all that. And aside from just the feeling of heartbreak, then I have to start all over. And I remember, I'm feeling that right now, because I remember the way I used to be, because wow, I don't think I'm like that anymore, which is really nice. The way I used to be was that fairy tale fantasy lover girl romantic, and yes, I still am like very lover girly, but I'm less romanticizing of crumbs, at least for now. And I'm also refraining from believing there is the one that's just going to walk into a coffee shop one day. I've taken away those fantasies people have planted in us since children with princess movies and everything, all these movies we watch. I've really, really tried to look and observe that about myself. And this is the thing I've been telling people. I'm not scared to be single in my 40s anymore. Like, I'm just genuinely not. My therapist, when she told me she was single, she's, I think 40, yeah. I was scared. Like, I was like, oh my God, what if that's me? And that had nothing to do with her. That was a complete projection of my insecurities. Because I knew her, I was thinking, well, she doesn't look scared, so why am I scared? And then I just started to question everything. And then it just came to the realization, it came to the awareness of how much people talk and talk and talk. You hear, oh, they're still not with anybody yet, they still don't have anybody, or oh, they're single in their 40s, they must be crazy. You hear all these little things in your ear, and then you meet people and you're friends with people and you're like, they're great, like anybody would be lucky to have them. They're just not with the person that they want to spend their life with. That's all. They're not. And so I remember always being scared of my 40s, and I remember being scared of being single in like 30 plus anytime. I was scared of like having to get a divorce one day. I figured out how to take away the fear, and I was like, I'm not scared to be single in my 40s. That just means I haven't settled yet, which is amazing. If I get a divorce, that's an amazing thing. That means I chose myself in a scenario that was unhealthy. It's not a failure. Being single isn't a failure. We look at it as some failure. And it is as if we are the ones who are doing less in life. Like, we are not quite there yet because we haven't found our person. And where does that belief come from? It's the belief that, oh, if I meet someone, then my life's complete. Like, I figured it out. And that's how I felt. I felt when I got my first boyfriend, I was like, oh my God, I finally did it. I finally landed somebody that wants to be with me and not just a friend. And then I latched onto that. So was it hope, or was it me latching on to avoid this feeling of loneliness and this feeling of constant pressure to find someone, and that I was lacking in life because I didn't have a significant other? That's what I was latching onto. And that's where you start to create the idea of them and the fantasy of them and what they can be and what you guys can be together. These are two good questions to ask yourself. Is it hope, or is it you already mentally latching onto the idea that you want them so bad? Because if it succeeds, it would mean what for you? And if it didn't succeed, then what would that mean for you? And that's where I think you could find your answers to why you're holding on, why you can't let go of them, why you can't leave. I'm going to touch on a personal example. So there's something there. Which one should I tell you guys? Maybe I'll tell you both. Maybe I'll like put my fucking heart on the table right now. Yeah. See, I'm fucked if some people listen to this. I'm joking. I'm not fucked. I'm totally not fucked. If the people that I'm talking about listen to this, then maybe it could boost their ego. But it actually won't, because once we get deeper, it's not going to boost their ego. You're going to realize, oh, it's actually about me and nothing about you. The first person that I had feelings for, deep, deep feelings, in love feelings, I have always felt like him liking me back, or admitting that he liked me back then, even now, is something that is like pushed in me. Like, it's somewhere compartmentalized, like in my body. And at certain times I go to that spot and I hold on to the hope that happens one day, that I find out that he did have feelings for me at one point. And it's funny because if I were to actually tell you the story, and if he's listening, hi, we we probably know, if we were to look at the actions, that we could just, anybody would be like, yeah, they had feelings for you too. But it doesn't matter to me, because even though I say, yeah, he probably had feelings for me, I somehow still don't admit that to myself. I think because of this part of me that I won't let myself understand. Let's dive in. If he liked me back, then what would it mean? It would mean I wasn't crazy. It would mean I was right. And it would mean that someone finds me attractive. Okay, cool. A little ego boost. Someone finds me attractive. So that's like the three main thoughts I think of if I ever found out that he had liked me back. Okay, if there's someone in the present moment that you like, this works perfect for it too. What would it mean if they actually did find you attractive? So think of those things. Now we're going to go deeper. So I'm not crazy would go deeper into it was reciprocated. And then I was right would go into like I'm an aware person, like I'm very aware. And then someone finding me attractive would then go into I'm attractive, I'm wanted. Take that deeper, then it would go into I'm worthy and I'm enough for a man. Core wound, not being enough for a man, not feeling attractive enough for a man. So what does that mean? That means that if he likes me back, I'm worthy of a man's attraction to me, I am enough, and I'm dateable. And so what that actually means is that I am putting my worth and my appearance, my confidence, into the hands of men. Oh, that was said so beautifully. Good job, Alexandra. What would that mean if they didn't like me back ever? What if that never happened? So what if I'm sitting here being like, oh, one day he'll admit it to me. But then I'm sitting here and I'm being like, what if he never had feelings for me? So if they never had feelings for you, then what would it mean? It would mean I'm unworthy, I'm not enough, I'm not dateable, I'm just seen as a friend, all those things. So that is a great question to ask yourself is why do you want something so bad? Maybe like, why do you want him to like you back so bad? What does it actually mean to you when you get deeper into that? Then you have to switch your mindset into how everything's personal. This is one of my favorite realizations in my life, is realizing that how I feel is personal to me. It has nothing to do with the other person. And how the other person feels has everything to do with them, nothing to do with me. It's true. Because I want you to think about it this way. I came up with this metaphor the other day when I was in the car. So if you have a pair of hands, a very, very small, like little baby hands, right? And someone puts this box into your hands can't really hold it all the way. You can't hold it. It's unbalanced. It feels really, really heavy. And you're like, this is really hard for me to hold. Then you take someone's hands that are much bigger and you put the same size box into the hands, and the hands fit perfect around it. Maybe you have to adjust their fingers a little bit, but it fits perfect around the box. Is the box too big, or are the hands that they're in too small? One of my favorite Rupi Kaur poems, I read it last night. I say one of my favorite Rupi Kaur poems, but genuinely, every single one of her poems is my favorite. The poem says, when you are broken and he has left you, do not question whether you were enough. The problem was you were so enough, he was not able to carry it. Feeling like too much is just because you're in the hands of people who don't have the capacity to hold you. Think about it this way. If I'm a loud person, if I'm around other loud people, they're going to love it. If I'm around a very shy person who doesn't like loud noises, they're going to think I'm the loudest fucking person on the earth. Some people think my humor is goofy and hysterical. They think I'm so funny. Some people, they think I'm completely annoying. Some people love my laugh. They tell me it's contagious. They think it's like the best thing in the world. Some people, I'm probably that person that they always talk about, like, oh my God, you know that girl with the laugh? You know, when she laughs like really loud in class, or I'm laughing and they're probably looking at me like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, lower your laugh. It's just based on the person you're with. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You are you, and the people around you are the ones perceiving you. Whatever their past is, however they feel in that moment, that is all up to them. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Like, there's times where I'm completely overstimulated and I know it has nothing to do with my friends. But in that moment, I'm like, yeah, I'm overstimulated by their actions, but that's a me thing. That's literally nothing to do with them. It's me. Is all me. If you have a child who is freaking out and then you start to freak out with them, it's probably because maybe you were anxious already and they start to freak out. But then on another day where you feel really, really calm and they're really anxious and freaking out and you're able to approach them in a calm way, it just shows that had everything to do with you. Your reaction in that moment, like, you're making me anxious, it had everything to do with you, your capacity to meet them where they were. So now, bringing back what I was talking about, thinking about how they treat you is a reflection of themselves, but also the way you pick people and the way you keep people in is a reflection of yourself. The people that you let stay, the things that you compromise with, is a reflection of yourself. And that's okay, But let's be aware of that. Your nervous system may recognize them, and it's mirroring those insecurities. When I think about self-fulfilling prophecies, it's this idea that if you think a certain way, you are just going to act in a way that proves that to yourself. Let's say your belief is like, people always leave. You're going to chase someone away, and then when they leave because they need to choose themselves because you're doing shitty things to them, then that core belief is just going to be proven. Yeah, I knew they were going to leave because everybody leaves. You chased them away so you could prove that to yourself. That's what you did. If you think you're not enough, you're going to make it so that in the end, they leave because you're not enough. It just proves it to themselves. And once you figure out, why am I picking that type of person? Then you could start to figure, what am I proving to myself? What core wound am I trying to rehearse in my nervous system? What's familiar that I'm like, yeah. Like, I think something that I rehearse, big realization right now, is the friend dynamic of making a friend and then being like, yep, I knew it. They only thought of me as a friend. It was funny. I remember when my first boyfriend, it's only been one boyfriend. When my boyfriend, again, ex-boyfriend, wow, what the fuck. When I was with my ex-boyfriend, when we were just talking to each other, and we could tell us a little bit more than friends, I had this little freak out one day, and I was talking to my therapist, I'm like, and my friends, and I was saying, what if he just likes me as a friend? Like, what if this is just, I'm completely misreading this and he just likes me as a friend? It's going to be one of those scenarios because I just came out of one of those scenarios. And honestly, in that moment, I could have completely friend zoned him because I was scared of him doing it himself. So, but I didn't, and I worked through that. And that's the perfect example of reliving the belief that you have. Maybe you're scared someone's going to call you a name, like a body shaming name. Let's say skinny or fat. You say it before they say it. Oh my God, guys, I feel so fat right now. Like, I'm just, like, I know I look so fat right now. Or, I know I look disheveled. I just woke up. Like, you want to say it before they say it. And it's just a way to prove to yourself that, like, yep, that's what everybody was thinking. I was thinking it too. Yeah. So, man, honestly, that was a great fucking episode. I just destroyed this mic. Oh my God. Guys, my therapist, I love this woman. We had such a moment in therapy the other day. So one of my favorite Eminem lines, again, one of those things where I say one of my favorites and every single line is my favorite, is the what she tripped, fell, landed on his dick. It's one of my favorite fucking lines. Me and my therapist have said it before. I'm telling her a story and she's like, what is this, a Slim Shady song? I was like, stop it. I love you even more. Yes. I go, literally, Carrie, when I heard the scenario, that is exactly what went through my head. That exact lyric. What she tripped, fell, landed on his dick. Anyways, go search up Guilty Conscious by Eminem. Such a crazy, crazy, crazy Slim Shady alter ego song. Absolutely love it. It's amazing. So, yeah. Don't listen to it around people. It's a little bit graphic. Help me along my journey of blowing up my brand to instill confidence in all women and believe that their bodies are strong bodies. Go follow me on the Muscle Mommy Mindset and the Muscle Mommy brand. And I have everything linked below. If you guys want to get some Muscle Mommy shirts, it's on musclemommystore.com. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I really had such a great episode and I'm feeling pumped. My friends are coming today. But I also have a brief tomorrow, which was like sprung on us yesterday. So like a little bit stressed, but not stressed because I get to see my girls. Anyways, this is a fucking fire episode. So share it with your friends. And if you guys want to write into the show, I'm going to link below where you could write in, or you could just DM me. I check DMs. Bye everyone.